Hello, welcome to Not Another Couples
Peaky.
Podcast, Peaky Blinder version. Today we're talking all politics. Sir Keir Starmer.
Are we competing with The Rest is Politics?
With who?
With The Rest is Politics, Alex Stewart and the very famous podcast.
I can't hear you, sorry.
You're not hearing me?
You're talking very quietly today.
The Rest is Politics.
Oh, okay, no, we're not going to be a political podcast. We're just going to talk about the what's going on. So Keir Starmer, he's hanging, basically, hanging by a thread.
It's a French, well, it's the same as the English saying. C'est le peau de la dent or something, by the skin of his teeth.
Literally by the skin of his teeth so far. It's a weird one, that, because like, as soon as someone does one little thing, it's not one little thing though. But it's just
I think every political party, everyone's looking for the thing to bring down the opposition.
Yeah.
It's like small margins, small gains. It's like a team. They're trying to find the little chink in their armour. And this Epstein thing is brilliant. So anyone that's been exposed...
Well, it's not brilliant, but brilliant for politics. Yes.
So obviously Mandelson is just... I mean, there's a shot of him standing in Epstein's Paris flat. I still don't know how
in
Epstein made pout in his pants with some girl in a dressing gown. And then... So he's gone.
It's just all exposed. So no, so he's gone, obviously. Then you've got McSweeney, who's the chief of staff, Morgan McSweeney. He's left, but I think he's been pushed. So the trouble is, people at the top. He's a scapegoat. He's chief of staff. So that's like a massive confidence thing gone. Like, well, there's obviously dodgy stuff happening because he's.
What is a scapegoat? Is there a type of goat that's?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine if
it's
you're
the
born
one that escapes, but they just can't be able to say S. They just say scape. And then his other director of communications.
I mean, it's never a good sign when you're.
He's only been there 5 months.
Well, Mandelson wasn't anyway, so that's never a good sign. It's a bit like the Japanese; he's going to have to fall on his sword, I think.
But I think what happens is that they have all this sort of like pool of people who've been involved in politics or. Associated with some sort of politics or a lord or a sir or a Farquhar or whatever. Whether you're Labour, Conservative, doesn't matter. It seems to be that you just basically put your mates in power, even if they can't do the job.
Old school.
They just get like, anybody who's like been a mate to them or supported them or like, yeah, don't worry, I'll get your job, I'll get you in.
Get you in. If you're at Eton with me in the same year group, you're in.
Pardon what?
If you're in the same year group at Eton.
Whether it's hat, I don't know. I can't hear you.
It's not over your ears.
Please speak louder. I can't hear. I just think it's just like a mess. It's just a mess, and it just seems to be nobody seems to know what they're doing. They all sort of go, "Yes, I'm going to do this, this, and this."
Well, it's more messy than normal. It's just now that the opposition.
No, I don't mean him. I mean just generally, politics is just a mess.
Maybe because we've got old and we care a little bit more about it.
I don't know. I just think I know less about it now because it's such a quick turnaround of people who were in those jobs.
There's trust.
Back in the old days. So Margaret Thatcher was in power. I wrote all this down because I wanted to remember. She was like 11, 12 years.
She did 3 terms?
So then pretty much you get to know. And I suppose in the olden days we actually watched the news on television rather than just listening to constant barrage of social media and little clips of this and that. But, you tended to know, even as a child, who was the Prime Minister, who was like all their people in second in command, the deputy, whatever it was.
Secretary of State, whatever it might be.
Chancellor of the Exchequer, all that sort of stuff. They were names that you knew because they were there for longer than like a couple of weeks. I mean, Liz Truss was 49 days.
Good girl, well done.
And all the current ones, all the ones more recently have only been there like 2 years. 3 years. I think Boris was like 4 years he managed. So it's like they come into... Oh, Tony Blair was the other long one. He was 10 years.
Yeah.
10, 11 years.
Who was it I was reading, did a podcast with him or a chat with him and was just thoroughly impressed with how he's quite a charmer, apparently.
Well, he came to my dressing room. I was at Panto.
Hello, here we go. Epstein.
Not Epstein, okay. Tony Blair.
Oh, okay.
With Sherry and the kids.
Sherry or Cheryl? Sherry.
Sherry. I know it's Cherry, but it's Cherie. Sherry. I think it's called a Sherry. Exotic.
I still don't understand why anyone would want to be a politician. Because obviously there is the power, but there isn't the financial return. So maybe there is afterwards, depending on how successful you are. But then it was Liz Truss. Do you remember the old building where the gym's in?
Yes. So this is on Curzon Street.
Yeah. So the two, what's his name?
Chengi Brothers.
Yes. Robert Chengi wants to turn it into a private members, like a very high-end meet and greet place, and he's brought in Liz Truss as the ambassador. And you're like, well, that's not going to attract anyone.
But that's exactly it. That's like, I don't know what she's got on him or why they're connected.
I mean, obviously they build huge amounts of contacts. Their Rolodex of contacts is phenomenal.
But in the olden days, children listening, obviously because there's loads of children listening to our podcasts, a Rolodex is basicly like your contacts list in your phone.
It was brilliant. It was rolling.
Or in your
Flip round. It's alphabetical.
Did you have one?
No, Dad did. I remember Dad's on his desk. But then his got upgraded so you could slide business cards in as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a little black book. They've all got little black books of people that they've spoken to or met somewhere. And it's just, for me, it's just, I don't know. I just couldn't live with that pressure of all of what they do. I don't know, that's why I do what I do and they do what they do, possibly. But even, I think Amber Flynn was saying, some of their mates who are doing politics, they still don't enjoy what's going on at the minute. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
None of them strive to be a politician.
No, they don't want to be involved in politics. They're learning about it, but it's such a mess.
But then you take it at that level. So Keir Starmer and that crew that are making huge decisions, and then we've had interactions with local councillors here, and they're just so wet. If they are the people that were bullied at school. I'm sorry.
They're the people who wanted to be Prime Minister but actually have absolutely no chance.
Oh no, they're trying to climb the ranks or so on.
No, but they've got no chance. They were the ones going, really like politics, really like all this stuff. And then, because you have to talk like that.
I remember going to this, there was 3 councillors and I was like, oh my God, I'd rather eat my own poo.
And it's such a minor thing that you're talking about,
parking in the local constituency.
Or whatever it is.
And I know it's not very exciting for them, but have a bit of joie de vivre. It's just like...
But it should be exciting because that's the core problems in the country. Potholes and parking are a nightmare, or building regs, or whatever it is.
There must be 3 Ps.
But I think there's
potholes, parking and paedophilia.
Let's hope not where we are. Too much of that going on.
Potholes, parking and politics.
There you go. But it's the bureaucracy is a good word, I think.
Well done.
That describes all of it. It's so much like, they can't just make decisions and get on with it. They've got to go through a certain amount of this and votes and committees, and that's so brain draining.
Keir Starmer must have to make decisions or not make decisions if they're passed down. So he can't make every single decision every single day. So there has to be this sense of trust within his party that, okay, you're dealing with that. And then the problem is if someone makes a bit of a curveball and it suddenly gets exposed later on, it will go back to him.
But I think he has overall decision making, but there are, like you say, sub departments that will be dealing with certain aspects, which is why you have a health secretary, you have a this secretary, you have a that person, whatever it is. But ultimately, they still have to. You should, like in a big business, you should have to come and pitch it to the boss, if you like, to make sure that it works for the company. The company is.
I mean, do you remember that time I had that? What's his name? Who's now passed on? Alex Salmon, Scottish MP. He came into the gym. He was one of the clients was donating money to the party, and so he said, "Look, you need to sort yourself out. You're not very fit and healthy." He was a big boy, and then I remember we were trying to find a time to fit in one session a week, and he showed me his diary with that. There obviously wasn't names and stuff. It's ridiculous. These guys. It is absolutely ridiculous how they live their lives from 7 o'clock in the morning till evenings at lunch to dinners. That finish at 10:30 every day. There wasn't a patch in his day that he didn't have meetings.
But wasn't it historic? Margaret Thatcher had 4 hours sleep. She could live off 4 hours sleep.
Have injections to keep her going.
But
I don't know how. Or more importantly, why. I mean, okay, you make it to Prime Minister and it's phenomenal and you've got lots of power and you're meeting and greeting the most important, powerful people around the world. I don't know. It goes back to this Epstein thing. It's all about power. I think if you're politically inclined, and you want to make a change, I don't think you can now. I think there has to be this point where you're doing deals behind the scene. Like, I want to get this bill passed. Okay, if you want to pass that bill, then you've got to help me with this one and that one and this one. It's just bloody poker. It's like, it'd be miserable. I can't think of anything worse. I don't know why.
But I think that happens in business.
Do you think they have an AI Prime Minister that makes a decision? Type of what decision should you make?
What's the best decision?
If two of your...
Is that how they type? Like that?
Yeah, and then...
I don't know. I just think there's, throughout the ages, there's been so many little dodgy stuff. But I think it gets highlighted because they are supposed to be in charge of the country. Whether they're Prime Minister or, the crew below, if you like. It seems to be that they think they're above normal laws as well. COVID is a massive one.
Well, yeah, Boris's party.
With Boris's, shenanigans, and not just him, just other people in his
party
crew. Who was the one who was snogging his aide and got in trouble? I did right.
Who, the one that went on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here?
No, was that Matt Hancock?
Yeah,
it was Matt Hancock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was the social distancing rules, and then he was caught snogging one of his
around the corner
secretaries
or
whatever.
Aides, yeah.
Around the corner. And it's just like, the whole world is trying to follow the rules that you're implying, and then you think, oh, actually, we can just get away with it because we set the rules.
So, bets on, do you think Keir Starmer will be out?
At the minute, he seems to have... They had like a little gathering, and he seems to have the support of most of his crew, his party, but obviously a couple of them have gone. It's the Scottish Labour MP or Prime Minister, who's literally going
for it.
Get out, you need to go. And, there's like Wes Streeting, who's another one. He's like publishing texts, WhatsApps that he had with Mandelson. And he's trying to like cover his bases and go, actually, I've actually said these messages, but there's nothing in it.
Right.
Rather than being caught out. But it's just another can of worms. It's another can of worms. And once people start the sort of...
like a scapegoat.
Can of worms. And
is there anything else?
There's probably more coming.
If you got bought a can of worms. It's just opening a can of worms.
Can of worms.
Where's that saying come from? Can of worms.
Well, when you open a can of worms, they're like everywhere, aren't they? You can't control it. It's all like, whoa, it's all gone a bit mad. Did you get it?
Got it now. Thank you. Thanks.
Come on, you're the gardener and the wormer. You did a whole thing on worms.
What was it called? No, what's it called when you do a show that you try and...
A pilot.
Pilot, that was it. God, that was miserable.
So can of worms. So it is basically them just having to cover their arses on any, communication, anything that they've done ever. But for me also, the whole thing is like every government that's ever in, there's always someone, tax evasion or having an illicit affair or, it's just repeats itself.
But
there doesn't seem to be anybody just going in there and having good intentions.
If you became a politician and Prime Minister,
yeah,
all your past would be exposed.
Everybody would be wearing leopard print.
Well, there is that. And there would be a ban on anyone wearing non-lycra.
Beige.
Yes. Beige ban.
Yeah, beige ban. I'd put in a beige ban, definitely.
Everyone, it'd be a nightmare.
No, I don't mean it like that, but it's not necessarily their past, it's what they're doing when they're in there. It's not necessarily something they did 20 years ago that comes out. It's the stuff that they're doing whilst they're in government.
While in power.
Yeah, okay. Like getting, expenses put through for like a second house that they don't, it's got nothing to do with their job.
Yeah.
Or, tax evasion, or pretending they're happily married when actually they're in every gay bar in Soho.
They must get
every
so many offers of bribes and things like that.
And they just think they're above the law, and I'm just not having it.
No. Well, there we are.
I'm not having it.
All right.
Well, Edwina Currie back in the 90s, she banned eggs. Well, she didn't ban eggs, but there was a massive freak out about eggs because she claimed that they had huge amounts of salmonella. So they were really bad for you and you were going to die if you ate an egg.
Yeah. Then egg production dropped.
And so all the farmers were like, yeah, thanks for that.
One of my athlete's mum has lots of chickens and I get given chickens. I got a blue egg the other day. But I ate them all.
Yeah, you did.
But they sometimes house ex-battery chickens. And for the first week or so they carry on laying, and then they just stop. They just stop because they realise they're not stressed because they're put in artificial lighting so that they just think it's whatever the time to lay eggs, and they lay 2 a day or whatever it is. Anyway, I don't know how I got onto that.
Eggs,
Salmonella.
Edwina Currie.
Yeah, and she was snogging John Major.
Well, yes, and then
You only just put that down.
I know, but I actually told it.
Okay.
Yeah, in the 90s she did this whole scat, thing. Was it 90s? No, 80s.
Yeah,
she talked about Edwina Currie with the eggs, and then later on she divulged that she and her and John Major
had a little snog.
Had been having an affair throughout his whatever.
His
tenure. How boring. I mean, John Major.
But I think
she comes across as quite like a bit crazy and a bit fruity, and then he looks like he was just grey. Always looked to me as like grey.
The image was him of just very grey.
Just everything was grey about him.
But they must have some amazing stories. If there are, I don't know if he was a good raconteur. Another good word today.
What's that mean?
Raconteur, a teller of speeches and stories. And then, because who was it? Who was amazing? Apparently Blair's very good at holding. And who was
holding court.
And the other one was apparently Clinton is just phenomenal at it. He'd go into a room and just remember names before he'd go in, not like an aide in his, whispering in his ear saying who it is and so on. I always find that amazing. They can just work a room. And some of these politicians are just phenomenal at it. I don't really know. And like you said, I don't really follow politics anymore. I mean, it's just like Amber was when she was 18, she was desperate to vote. And then I'm like, I should vote, but I'm like.
But it's so, like you say, because it changes so quickly. I remember it just being such a big thing when we were younger. Because there was it was usually between Conservative and Labour, and there was always either Neil Kinnock, Margaret Thatcher, all those sort of big names that were always there, and they were the same people.
Michael Foot.
It didn't change.
Just looked to my foot and went Michael Foot
all the time. You know what I mean? It didn't change as quickly.
No, exactly. So you did get to kind of know them,
whether you love them or hate them.
I mean, there was obviously a less screen time, but I mean, I don't follow any political podcasts or things like that, but
I'm sure there's a lot of information out there. It's almost like too much information. So, and again, you don't know what's real and what's not. Back in the news, it was like that was what was said, so everybody believed it. Whether it was true or not is a different thing. BBC News.
I think if people want someone out, then they'll find a way. They're all saying that Keir Starmer, no one's actually really understands what his policies are, what he's trying to do. It's not never been very clear, and then so people in his party who will pretend to be supporting him will be going, oh, let's expose that little story, or let's nudge that one forward, or let's push someone in opposition.
And also, there used to be a massive clear cut between Conservative and Labour. There was a big divide of what they stood for, how they've been brought up, all that stuff, and it was very clear cut. Now they sort of it's just a word. It doesn't actually.
Matt Farage is rubbing his hands again,
but he's going to get kicked out because of his.
Farage.
He's definitely been in the Epstein files.
But he's he's a bit like Trump and Boris. He's very good at riding the storm. It's almost a sense of arrogance and going. Well,
publicity is good publicity, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think and look at Flynn and all. They all love Farage because he's a character. They know what he's about. Whether you agree or disagree with him, he's quite clear on his views.
Yeah, but again, it's all very well saying it. You've actually got to make it happen.
Well, I think that's
the problem.
This is another opportunity for him. No one's going to vote Conservative in the next election. Well, when is? I don't even know when the next election.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If Keir Starmer is out, then or there has to be ways of getting him out according to the Labour policy, where they have to either have a general election or a vote of confidence, and it has to have like 20% of Labour peers have to vote for someone else to come in. But then it's like, well, who would come in? There's.
Can you name? I'm so bad. Who else is a Labour?
Well, only because Wes Streeting. There's.
Isn't that the bloke that did all the films? Who's Wes Anderson?
Wes Anderson.
It's not the same guy.
No.
Okay.
No. Exactly that. We don't really know.
Take the really out.
Who's backstabbing?
Don't know. I don't even know any. I couldn't name you. This is so bad. I can't tell you. Oh, we said this the other day. Who's the leader of the Conservatives at the moment?
I can't say it. I want to say Kabuncha, but it's not. It's something like that. Exactly.
Not kabaddi. That's a very good Indian game. I feel a bit bad. I feel, I do like reading autobiographies and stuff, and I read that Alex Stewart, which wasn't about politics, it was about his Afghanistan walk, which was brilliant. But I just, yeah, I'm so disinterested, which is terrible because you walk around, Kingston, and you go,
Yeah, but you want a character, like you say, with Farage. You want a character to come in, but you actually want someone to just
Will Boris come back?
get stuff done.
I
Just
don't. It's not easy anymore. There's too many loopholes, and it's not. You can't just. They can't just do a Trump. That's why people like Trump, because he gets things done. We might hate him, but he gets it. If he says he's going to do something, he might do it illegally, but he does it, and he gets things done. And most of America love that. You've got two types of America. You've got the ones that never leave the state, or you've got these kind of very wealthy, very intelligent, sort of proper dichotomy. Another word, dichotomy.
crikey, have you swallowed a dictionary this
I've had
morning? Two
coffees, and now I'm hydrating.
You got a free coffee, didn't you? So Keir Starmer, will he, won't he?
Bets on. Do you remember was it on, not Big Brother, what was it, TGI? Thank God it's Friday. With
TFI.
TFI. Do you remember they had a baby? Was that in there? So they had a little baby sitting on a bed, and they
Which way it fall? I don't know whether it was that. It might have been like.
Or was that what was the one in the morning?
Big
Channel 4, Big Breakfast.
Might have been that, or one of those 90s shows.
So that's what I feel like Keir Starmer's. He's a little baby sitting on a bed.
Will he go left?
And will he go left or right? Left is leaving, right is staying. I think he will. I don't know. It just depends on what they've got on him. It's just someone goes, right, if you don't step down, I'm going to expose this, that you once kissed a cat.
I mean, the Lord Mandelson thing is almost like subsidiary now. It's almost like he's gone, it's done, you made a stupid mistake, you put him in, shouldn't have put him in.
But I think anyone...
It's gone. And what his involvement was so long ago, not saying he did or didn't do anything with Epstein, there's so many people that are going to come out that were involved. It's almost like the whole of anybody in power is going to be on that list. Richard Branson's on that. There's loads of people on those lists who've had connections and also denying they've had connections with him. It's like...
Well, the guy that I followed and we've had phone calls with back in the day with the whole longevity thing, Peter Attia. 1,700 emails. And the worst one, and he talks about in his book when his daughter was ill, rushed to hospital, he couldn't visit because he was on a business trip. And now the email pass show that he was with Epstein for 4 days in New York while his wife was begging him to come home.
Because his daughter was ill. I mean, come on.
I just don't get, A, the power of Epstein. I still don't get it. B, as a bloke, if you're into that shit, but then your daughter's very ill, hospitalised, why you wouldn't go back? I just don't get some people. The drive to have this power fix. But if anyone that's worked within a company, there are people within that company. There's lots of different characters, and I've had the misfortune to have to sack 2 people because of not because they've done something, but they didn't fit the company. They didn't, they weren't getting good feedback from clients and so on. And that's just a really small version of being. This massive... Imagine if you're an international company, you've got thousands of people working for you, and one of your staff does something wrong, badly wrong. You're like, you just get rid of them. But as a politician, they're like, all right, well, you shouldn't have employed them in the first place. Well, I didn't know that they were going to do that. I mean, the truth is, the argument is with Mandelson, they did know. Yeah,
but also, you've seen on a minor scale, trying to be an athletics coach, the stuff that you have to verify,
coaching? What was my
or
job?
being a teacher, or being in charge. There are checks. These are people at the top of the game, and there should be. It's easy to check. Background checks.
It's not that easy.
I mean, Mandelson lied. He said no.
Yes.
No.
Right.
So but meaning there are like they've just discovered. Obviously, the Epstein files have just been released, but surely MI5, all these people can find out anything they want to about anyone.
What we're watching,
especially if you're in that level of
the night manager, they can find out anything.
Yeah.
So we just get the night manager in.
Exactly, night manager or slow horses, any of those things.
He gives me the creeps.
Tom Hiddleston.
Well said. Yeah.
I think he's sort of meant to be a bit smarmy.
Yes.
I think he's like that generally. as a person, from what we've heard.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's Keir Starmer politics.
Will he, won't he?
Will he, won't he? Vote here on Not Another Couples podcast.
Left, or will he fall right?
Talking of falling, we've been watching Olympics, haven't we? Winter Olympics.
Trying to. The youngsters aren't that interested in it. I'm always intrigued watching sports that I don't know much about. So the Big Air, which is a new one for the Winter Olympics.
Crazy.
And these people, men and women, doing these massive jumps. And they seem to crash and just bounce back up. It's phenomenal. But yes, the ski jump, the big talk.
So you have a ski jump.
So the ski jumpers are allowed to wear a suit when they jump. But the suit can't be more than 4% of their body surface area. Because obviously there has to be a limit, because if they just wore a tent or like a flying squirrel, they'd fly further.
Like those base jumpers, whatever they're called.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel.
So they're trying to look with small margins, obviously, literally small margins. So there's now talk that the men have been injecting into their penis acid to engorge their coccolika, which will increase...
Is that a scientific term, coccolika?
Yes.
Okay.
And that will increase the surface area of their coccolika area. And every 1% that they can increase their surface area, if everything else is equal, would equal 5 metres further in the jump.
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. So they've been apparently, because obviously you said, why don't they just wear a prosthetic? But obviously they can check for that. But if you've just got a massive baby's arm hanging down there, and you've packed it in your suit, and then you fly...
What about... Because we were saying it'd be quite weird if they took like Viagra or something just before their suit was measured.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily... Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, massive. But that could cause steering problems.
Why don't they... Obviously, because they're tiny, aren't they?
A lot of them are very small.
And why are they tiny?
Because I think in terms... There's this perfect medium of strength to weight ratio as they pop off the thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, the heavier they are, the quicker they will fall.
Because that's what I was thinking. Why don't you just get bigger?
But it's not necessary. We all fall at the same speed, don't we? It's 120 metres per second, like gravity, if you're free falling. But I think if you are heavier, obviously there's more resistance. There's obviously...
Well, there is, because when we did paragliding and we did the ones with the kids, Flynn was tiny at the time and he literally was up for ages. He went first and he was up for ages. We were like down.
So yeah, I think there's obviously this perfect...
I mean, that's extreme.
Because I remember
I know.
Do you remember we met the coach we had, and he was talking about this.
The coach, because we did ski jump really
and he was talking about the Olympic guys and the elite guys, and obviously they're doing a lot of explosive leg work, but they really want minimal upper body.
So it's like a cyclist. But
they do a bit of core. Yeah.
Because they're tiny, but they've got massive.
So injecting their penile.
But with acid. Why acid?
Well, I don't know whether it just stays within the cells for a bit. I don't know.
Would that not be really
painful? I don't think it's like hydrochloric. I don't think they're putting like full or cleaner in there.
I know, but why acid? I don't understand. Acid. I need to know these things now. Okay. I'm going to have to research it after we finish.
Okay.
We're very thirsty this morning. We'd like drinking a lot of water.
But yes. And then Lindsay Vonn, obviously, who came back at 41, damaged herself, ruptured her ACL at the penultimate race before the Olympics.
There's a lot of big words coming out of you this morning.
Skiing.
Yeah. Penis.
ACL. And then wore a brace and then had this horrific crash. Multiple fractures, multiple surgeries required, helicoptered off the mountain. It wasn't quite the fairy tale.
No, it's a big
she was doing really well.
I mean, yeah, her qualifying run or whatever.
Yes, I think I don't know if she was top 3, but she was up there. She was in the mix, as they say.
She was like 8th or 10th or something. She was in the top 10, I think.
Can't quite get into curling. I know we're now playing for third, 4th playoff against the Italians.
We tried it a long time ago. It's really hard.
It's amazing. It's brilliant fun.
I don't know what we're doing.
No, how dare you?
Well, we didn't know
what we were
doing.
Sweeper.
I didn't realise there was a slidey shoe and a grippy shoe.
Yeah, sticky slidey.
We saw Rob and Ramesh doing that, didn't we?
Yeah, they were terrible.
Ramesh couldn't.
Oh yeah, and they tried cross-country skiing as well, which is tough. Cross-country skiing, even when you see the elite guys going downhill, you're like, oh, can't they ski?
We remember watching them years ago, Olympics. We were in Canada, and there was a Winter Olympics on there. It's the first time I'd really seen.
Yeah, and they were going downhill. We were like, oh.
You're like, well, they're rubbish. They're like snow ploughing. What's the matter with them? And then you realise the skis are about an inch wide.
And the heels aren't fixed. And
and they're very, very skiddy.
I would like to get back into it. I don't want to do marathons again, but it's such a lovely, because normally it's in beautiful
but it's hard,
settings.
isn't it? Because where we see low down, it usually
Well, the problem is we go at the wrong time of year. We should be out there now.
But low down is where you get the
through the trees and
tracks. But it has to be very cold and a lot of snow for that to happen. Usually,
would you like to do it again?
Yeah, I would. I like
some
the
lessons
skating.
again. Yeah.
Like short sprint. I could do sprint stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're doing team sprint. You can make there's another one. You can make the Olympics.
Oh, here we go. I could have been a world-class rugby player, and now
no speed skating. Unfortunately, not. You're not tall enough. They are super powerful like you, but they are tall. They're rangy. So I don't think maybe short course, Susie.
I'm only talking about short course. I don't want anything long.
All right.
Don't do that.
I always love it because the girls wear all these all-in-ones and the men's, and they, glasses and this like who was the
Kathy Freeman,
Aboriginal. So you got this windsuit, whatever, and then they take their hat off and they got this like amazing long hair, and you're like, oh, wasn't expecting that.
There was a clip that they keep showing photos of the Dutch girl who I think just won gold, who's engaged to, I was going to say Sean Paul, but it's not. What's his name?
Don't say that.
No. Sean Paul, no, the boxer, Jake Paul or whatever, one of those.
Anyway.
One of those ones. And basically, because she's a really attractive girl, she'd obviously skidded and her suit had all ripped.
Okay.
And there was literally a shot of her bum hanging out the back of the seat with her thong and lots of her with her zip undone, Baywatch style. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're normally, ridiculously strong.
Dutch should be, because they're all incredibly tall and good sprinters usually, or good athletes.
But there is a team sprint marathon when you only have to do 7.5 kilometres on the skis.
That's still quite a long way, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
I think if I wasn't scared, bobsleigh.
Yeah, you could
I've seen the girls sprinting in bobsleigh. They've got amazing physiques. The girls at the back.
Normally ex-sprinters, aren't they? Apart from the driver.
Just amazing.
Well,
I'd actually just quite like to just have a go at the pushing the thing, not when they do their training one.
Well, we can go to skeleton.
Do the training one where you've got like spikes on and they're just running like on a track, pushing.
Bath Uni have one.
That sled. I would do that.
I didn't quite make it to Bath. I told you the story where they had a Crystal Palace testing session to see if you could make the British bobsleigh team. And for the sprinting bit, I was okay. And then they got you to push a sled. I was like so far behind these shot putters and stuff. They were so powerful. It sounded like they were ripping holes in the track. I was like, so I didn't make it to Bath.
Would you not have like been one of the little ones at the front, the driver, or?
Well, I don't think I have the skill. I think those guys are very skilled. I don't know how you become a driver, because you're not. You do push a bit, but obviously you're first in the sled. But their knowledge is phenomenal. You see them visualising before they go in, and weaving and wobbing and wobbing. But we could go and do that thing. I want to take the fan. Would you?
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's like pushing the sled in the thing. Just a short burst, not long.
So that one, when I went with Henry, wasn't it? I think Lilyhammer. You can go and first thing they do is you take down in a skeleton, down a bobsleigh with a professional driver. No, I just want to
do the pushy training one.
You don't do that, and then you go down on a skeleton sled.
No, I don't want to do skeleton.
Why?
Because
you just lie like a sack of potatoes and just lean a bit.
Actually, I'd probably prefer to do that because I'm in control.
Yes.
Of my own destiny.
Say that.
No, but I'm not reliant on someone else. It's all on me, which would be better than if someone else is doing it. I'd be like, oh no, it's like someone else driving really fast. I'd be like, no, I can do the fast driving. I don't need you shit.
But there was a picture of, I think, one of the Italian girls coming down on a skeleton, and the camera was obviously she's now down on the sled, and there's just a picture of her with her bum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, whoever put the message was like, the Italian camera crew have worked out how to increase viewing figures for this one.
Yes, exactly. There's another guy, I think, that's in a little clip on Instagram, literally just reacting to that video.
Oh, okay.
Himself, just going.
Well, I mean, it's so niche, though, isn't it? It's like some of these sports, it must be difficult for people to relate to.
The skills, I think. Just like you say, like when we went that years ago when we were flying, and there was that woman next to us who was involved in transferring people across to lesser known sports.
Yes.
Using, like, so if you're a really good swimmer, they're trying to transfer you to like kayaking or something. They're using your genetic
So they were taking rowers into cycling, weren't they?
modifications and just going 16 to 24-year-olds or something, or 18 to 24-year-olds.
Make it.
I was very upset because I was about 32 at the time, 33. I was like, well, what can I know? I was a bit older, I think I was about 35. Flinny. I was like, yeah, but which one could I do? She said, yeah, but you're not in. I said, I don't care. I'm just really young mum. Really young mum.
Who was it that came back from? Was that a speed skater we were listening about? It was a speed skater, and they said, she had to make a decision about becoming a mother or making the next Olympic. I think she was Italian. Making the next Olympic, this Olympics now, and she decided to do both. So she had a baby, and now she was back. I think chance of medaling, and it's a tough one. A lot of the runners, a lot of the endurance runners, not unfortunately, but there is definitely a hormonal change after birth. So a lot of them see their times improve once they've had a child.
Yeah, but they're very fortunate, or they ensure they are fortunate enough to be able to have all the experts on hand to make sure that their body's performing as well. A regular person who's just had a baby, you get all the chat before you have the baby, and then as soon as you have it, afterwards they just go, all right, off you go. It's not about you anymore, it's about the baby. So there's no interest in your body or what's happened to your body or the trauma.
Especially if you were a sports woman, an athlete, and I don't mean that as a professional, just someone that trained, I still class them as athletes, and then you go back and you haven't tested things like the postpartum.
That's why it's great. Stuff. Now I've never even heard of a women's health physio. I mean, a women's health physio covers all the things to do with the women's body, internally, externally, all the stuff that's going on, because it's all related to hormonal change, pre and post birth, menopause, perimenopause, later in life, early in life, whatever it is, puberty. There's just puberty. It's just such a massive subject. I mean, I remember I had down, but I literally thought, I had the baby now.
Off we go.
And like, your body's like absolutely shredded. But because you're not this big anymore, you think, oh, back to normal. Just going to pop back and off I go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No. So, yes. Winter Olympics.
Penis acid injections, please.
And will Keir Starmer be here next week?
Is he? Isn't he? Will he? Won't he?
Willie.
We're talking about willies basically today.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not a politician.
Yeah. What would your party be called, though? The Gingers.
Red or Dead.
Red or Dead. That was a brand. That was a fashion brand.
What was his name?
Oh, no, don't do this to me.
Yes, he didn't
I could see him.
Didn't he go into designs?
It was like John Unsworth. Always reminded me of him.
Yes, and he made brilliant shoes as well, didn't he?
Amazing stuff.
Oh, Red or Dead.
Red or Dead.
Oh, I had his name then, not Harrison.
People are shouting it at us now.
Are they?
Listening.
Screaming. Red or Dead would be called.
Red or Dead.
Yeah, because if you're not ginger, you're out.
But that's red. You're not red.
Ginger, red.
Ginger.
Yeah.
The Ginger Raving Loony Party.
Nice. What would I stand for? Just be nice to people. Hold the door open for people.
Say please and thank you.
Yes.
Be kind.
And look them in the eye, and make sure when you cheers, when you're having a drink, you look them in the eyes. And if you don't, you're out of the party. Be genuine.
That's what I would say. Don't be fake.
Okay. No plastic fantastic.
Be a mate. Don't be fake. That would be my policy.
Okay. And then you test people on the interviews like they do with their secret shopper when they come in for an interview, and if they're rude to people that they think that perhaps below them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my pet hate. Oh, here we are, sorted.
Brilliant. So if Keir's out, we're in.
I don't think I'd last too long.
Not another couples podcast.
Yeah.
Not another flipping politician.
Who would you like to meet? Which political leader at the moment would you like to meet? I'd still like to meet the Obamas.
Yes. Definitely.
And was that fake that Michelle Obama's running?
There's still a lot of chat about her, but those two, I think.
Nelson Mandela, obviously a bit late on that one.
Who have I met? Oh, only Tony Blair really is a main. I've seen and been in the room and things with lots of other people. I think Theresa May years ago before she was here.
Theresa May.
She was some person.
Secretary of
something.
Dance moves.
Please no.
No.
And obviously Queenie, but she wasn't a politician. But...
Queenie, and apparently whatever Prince Andrew's now called, they've kicked him out of that house. Charles was disgusted that he was filmed and waving to everyone while he was riding in Windsor Great Park. And
Yes.
so they've now moved him to Sandringham, which is Norfolk, and basically they don't want him to be seen again.
Lock him up in the tower. That's
Well,
what they
pretty
should
much
do.
they've ostracised him.
In the
Another
old
word.
days, just lock him up in the tower.
Send him to Coventry.
Tower of London is available for really awful humans.
Send him
they
to
should.
Coventry. Why Coventry? That's another one. Can of worms, scapegoat, and why was Coventry chosen to be sent to Coventry?
No one spoke there.
Ah.
So when you get sent to Coventry, you don't speak.
Imagine if you got sent to Coventry as a scapegoat and then you were given a can of worms.
Just
Fucking nightmare.
win, win, win.
Nightmare. Well, there we are.
Right, we love you. Thank you for listening and see you later.
Yes, please.
Ciao.